difference between a narcissist silent treatment and you falling silent towards someone. When it comes to the silent treatment, it is a narcissistic behaviour. However, it's not always used by narcissistic people. Therefore, when someone falls silent on you, you often look at it from your motives, your intentions. You often wonder what on earth you've done to upset them, to hurt them, to offend them. As you have the empathy to care about them, you're usually looking for ways to make it up to them, make it right with them, apologize to them, not realizing that they're coming from a completely different mindset. They're coming from completely different motives. They're coming from a thought process where they're looking to punish you or to coercively control you into living life on their terms. When a genuine person falls silent on another person, it's usually because they don't have the words. Their feelings have been hurt in some way. They've been offended in some way, and they need to gather their thoughts and work it out. Or you've got to a point with a person where no matter what you say, no matter what you do, you're always wrong, so that you've learned to recognize that the only way to deal with them is to not deal with them, to stop giving them that reaction, to fall silent on them, to go no contact with them, not to particularly punish them, although that can get you started. However, it's a means to an end of recovering from the relationship with them, escaping them. When it comes to the narcissist and their silent treatment, it's a form of emotional abuse where the narcissist is going to refuse to speak to you, refuse to acknowledge you. Now, you can be in a family home with a narcissistic parent and your other parents and siblings and other people around you, and the narcissist can isolate you. They can refuse to communicate with you. They can be happy and jovial with all those around you while they completely ignore you. And if you dare speak, they can say, oh, can anyone hear anything? As they're looking to scapegoat you, to blame you for the narcissist insecurities, for the narcissist flaws and weaknesses. A narcissistic individual, you can simply just not make their meal right, and they can use that as an excuse to justify a reason to fall silent on you rather than to have open and honest communication with you. Now, the silent treatment can stem from a similar place of hurt feelings. So you can fall silent towards somebody because somebody has hurt your feelings. A narcissist will fall silent to you because they perceive you to have hurt their feelings. However, the manner in which you've been hurt are completely different to how a narcissistic individual has been hurt. So when somebody insults you, criticizes you, mocks you, humiliates you, refuses to have the open and honest communication with you, argues with you, baits you, taunts you, you can get to a point where you might fear speaking up, or where you shut down because you recognise that you're in a no-win situation with this person. However, with a narcissistic person, you can just compliment somebody else in front of them. They take this as a betrayal and they fall silent on you. Now, as a narcissistic individual knows full well that if you were to compliment somebody in front of them, they're going to take offence to this. They will happily ignore, minimalise, mock your achievements and compliment somebody else in front of you about the very thing that you've done to get you to question yourself. Now, you will more likely than not compliment the narcissist, praise the narcissist, recognise the narcissist as well as other people. Yet narcissistic individuals take offence to this because they should be the only person that matters to you. A narcissistic individual will promise to do something with you And then they'll let you down at the last minute and go and meet up with their friends, which is naturally going to cause that frustration within you because, hang on a minute, you promised this and now you're just dropping me like I'm worth nothing, which can cause you to want to fall silent towards them because they promised you something and then didn't follow through. Yet you can just not promise the narcissistic individual something. You can say to them, hey, in 2 weeks' time, I've been invited out here. Is that okay? And a narcissistic individual gets offended that you're going to meet up with your friends and family, that you're putting somebody else before them. When it comes to the time, you'll often find yourself walking on eggshells around them. They'll claim that you never told them, or they'll have some sort of surprise planned for you. They create that atmosphere before you leave, and they have the atmosphere when you come home. They create those arguments, so you go out all flustered. So there's plenty of reason why you might fall silent towards a narcissist. However, those intentions are often very different to why a narcissistic individual will fall silent on you. With a narcissist, it is their hurtful, their manipulative behaviour to leave you feeling isolated, ignored, unworthy, rejected. It builds up that frustration within you that you can never get your point of view across, that they'll never discuss what's wrong. You've got to figure that out, and you've got to apologise to them for the things that they're actually doing to you. Narcissistic people use the silent treatment to control you and to punish you. They withhold attention, affection and support to assert power and dominance and superiority. Now, victims can pick up narcissistic fleas. So if you were raised by narcissistic parents, you can learn to just shut down because that's how you were raised to communicate with other people. So you can pick up narcissistic fleas. However, you can learn to recognize and adapt and change. Narcissistic individuals do not see themselves as the issue, so they don't change their behavior. They only change to what works for them. You can use the silent treatment as a coping mechanism, knowing that if you try to discuss something with them, you're going to be in a no-win situation. If you pay somebody a compliment and the narcissist goes, oh, do you fancy them? Do you like them? What's so special about them? You can recognise that if you try to justify and explain, you're going to escalate the situation. So sometimes you're best off saying nothing at all. Rather than engaging in the conflict, it's easier to retreat, and you can fall silent on a narcissist and ignore their toddler tantrums and their behaviour, because they do these things in order to elicit a reaction from you so they can use that reaction against you. And as you learn about narcissism, you can learn that silence actually works to get them to leave you alone. Now, the silence does hurt a narcissistic individual, which is why they will do it to you. However, with a narcissist, you'll notice it's a pervasive pattern of behaviour. If you're dealing with a narcissist that falls silent, they will fall silent on you because they didn't get their own way with you. They'll ghost you for a couple of days. They'll ignore their phone, or they'll read the message but not respond. They will fall silent on their parents if their parents decide to call out their unjust behaviour. They'll fall silent on their teenage children if their teenage children put their friends before their parents. They will fall silent on a friend if they ask their friend to do a favour and their friend says, oh no, sorry, I can't do it tonight, I've got family commitments, I can do it tomorrow. Because that friend hasn't served the narcissist instantly, the narcissist can stop speaking to that person. A narcissistic individual can cheat on their partner with their best friend's partner and then fall silent on their best friend when the narcissist gets caught out on their behaviour. It's a pattern of behaviour that they display in their life whenever they don't get their own way. Now, in order to beat a narcissist, sometimes you do need to temporarily use narcissistic behaviours, preferably permanently, towards a narcissistic individual. Narcissistic people don't like being ignored, just like we don't like that silent treatment. They believe they're special, they need that validation. So if you fall silent on them, it offends them. And this can be enough motivation when you're naturally looking for that revenge because you've been betrayed in some of the most hurtful ways, normal reactions. Yet you don't want to take too much revenge because you care about them, so you're the one that's going to feel bad. You need to sort of pity the fool, and then it's easier to let go. Yet it depends what stage of recovery you're in, but when you recognise that they don't like the silent treatments, it's easier to use that to start you on that journey, to fall silent towards them, to stop reacting to them, to stop giving them the attention that they are desperately craving from you. And you might initially start it to punish them. However, the end goal is to free yourself from them so that they can recognise that they're no longer getting any form of supply from you and they leave you alone. When it comes to the difference between a narcissist silent treatment and a non-narcissist silent treatment, it's all about the intentions of the behaviour. A narcissist uses it to manipulate and control. A non-narcissist uses it to protect themselves from usually narcissistic individuals. If anyone has any thoughts on this video, please do add those into the comments for people reading through. Thank you very much to all the returning subscribers and your continued support of the channel. It's greatly appreciated. If you are new to the channel, I'm Elizabeth Shaw. This channel is all about narcissistic behaviour to give you more understanding of the people you might be dealing with within your life, how to handle yourself around those people if you cannot go no contact, and different methods to find what works for you to help you understand and overcome narcissistic and emotional abuse. If you do find the information helpful on the channel, please do subscribe. If you are looking for further help and support in understanding and overcoming narcissistic and emotional abuse, I do have several online guides available, and those teachable links are in the video description. If you're looking for someone to speak to, I have partnered with BetterHelp, and their sponsored link is also in the video description. I do also have several books out on Amazon: 15 Rules to Deal with Narcissistic People If You Cannot Go No Contact, a Narcissists Handbook, which is the ultimate guide to understanding and overcoming narcissistic and emotional abuse, and how to create boundaries around those who have no respect for your boundaries. Go out there, create the day that you deserve, because you do deserve to have an amazing day. Bye.